Currency exchange. So not all countries use the same currency. When I say currency, I mean money or the type of money. So if you go to Google and just type in exchange rates or currency exchange, it'll come up a table, and you can simply just select like one Canadian dollar, and then in another box beside it select US, and it'll tell you how much one Canadian dollar will give you. Now this rate changes daily, actually it changes hourly as well. So the number I put here might not be, if you're at home watching this video next week, the exact same number, but it should be pretty close because our Canadian dollar is fairly stable. So when I did this today, it said that 1 Canadian dollar is equal to 0.80, so 80 cents or 0.8 US dollars. And then I tried it the other way around. I went 1 US dollar gave me 1.25 Canadian dollars. So right now, the US dollar is worth more, and it's usually like that, but not always. I can remember a time when the Canadian dollar was actually worth more. All right, so what I want to do is be able to convert from US dollars to Canadian dollars. I'm just going to move this up. So we already established that 1 US dollar is equal to 1.25 Canadian dollars. And we're going to convert a few of these different things. So there is a way to do, this is a ratios, and I do this for all exchanges, like currency exchanges. So it doesn't matter if it's Canadian, Mexican, euros, or US dollars, this will work. So you always write at the top the two things that you're comparing. Well, I'm comparing US dollars, so I write down US, to Canadian dollars, so CAN for Canadian. So I'm setting up a ratio. So I know that and you write this down, your statement, 1 US dollar is equal to 1.25 Canadian dollars. Now, we're going to do the specific amount that we're looking for. So I'm looking to find out 11.68 US dollars. So because that's US dollars, I put it on the US side. So all these numbers on this side are US because it was $1 US, 11.68 US is equal to, basically, I don't know, so I'm going to use the letter X, Canadian dollars. Now, I have two fractions, and I'm trying to figure out what this X is. So there's a trick we do in mathematics called cross multiplying, where you take the top number and you multiply it by the bottom. So 1 times X is just X. And then I'm going to multiply 11.68 times 1.25. And when I put that in my calculator, I get 14.60. So that means 1168 US dollars will actually give me $14.60 US. All right, let's try one more, and then I'm going to let you work on the rest of the page. So again, you set up your ratio. We're talking US dollars to Canadian dollars. I know that 1 US dollar is equal to 1.25 Canadian dollars. And in this case here, I have 52.63 US dollars. So I put that on the US side. I don't know how many Canadian dollars I have because that's what I'm looking for. Now I'm going to do that cross multiplying. You take the top number and you multiply it with the bottom number the opposite side, the bottom with the top. So 1 times X is just 1X. Then I multiply these two numbers, so 52.63 times 1.25, and that gives me 65.79. So 52.63 US gives me $65.79 Canadian. All right, I want you to finish the rest of these, but I just want to look at the questions on the bottom for a second. So here it says, give 2 possible reasons why we would buy items in the United States. Here in Strathroy, we're very, very close to the US border. So there could be lots of reasons why we would cross the border. It's very convenient to us. So why would someone go shopping in the US? Well, number one, sometimes things are cheaper in the United States. I know when I built my house, we actually bought all the drywall that's in my house. In the States, it was 1/3 of the price. So even though we crossed the border, we paid duty on it, it was still cheaper to go across the state. So one reason people cross the border is actually to buy items at a cheaper rate. Another reason could be there's stuff that we can't purchase here in Canada. I know my father years ago was looking for a specific tile to match the tiles in this pool, and the only place he found it was California. So he had it shipped from California here to Canada, and the reason for that is it didn't exist here in Canada. He had to actually buy it from the United States. So there's two reasons why we would actually cross the border to buy things in the United States.